What is an essential, not so obvious skill in life? Knowing when to shut up. Just being reliable. It's amazing how far you can get professionally and in relationships by being the person people feel like they can genuinely depend on. So many are flakes. To be able to read the room you are in. Knowing how to pick your battles. Some fights just aren't worth having. Either because the reward isn't worth the effort, or you can't win. Even when you're 100% right. Sometimes you need to take less than what you want and move forward from there. Knowing how to fail. By that I mean failing. And not letting it break you. Or throwing a tantrum. Also, knowing that failing at something doesn't make you a failure. If that makes sense. Having a sense of humor. I find it useful for when things go terribly wrong and / or ironically wrong. Knowing when and how to ask for help. I learned this from Craig Ferguson. Less of a skill and more of a realization. Does this have to be said? Does this have to be said by me? Does this have to be said by me now? Try to follow that rule and you'll avoid many pointless fights, soured friendships and blank stares. Knowing how to cook. It's not very feasible to live off of instant food, and eating out can be expensive. It can also lead to a healthier lifestyle and you have more control over what goes into your meals. Being okay with being alone. Being assertive. And not passive-aggressive. Aggressive or just passive. Also being open-minded is a good one to have. Basic computer skills. I work in IT in a call center and it's absolutely baffling how poor people are with computers. It's 2019 people. If you're going to do your job on a computer you should know how to use it. Knowing when to walk away. If the conversation is over, say see ya and walk the fuck away. Standing there for another 30 seconds cause you think it's rude to leave is weird as duck. And awkward. Normal workplace conversations last a couple minutes. Tops. Go away, Carol. I feel like this might go hand in hand with some of these other comments. But be able to admit that you don't know something. It took me a little to get past this, but after being in a healthcare setting for a bit, I realized it could be critical if you're not honest with yourself. Learn how to change a tire. Yes, I know about AAA and roadside assistance through your car insurance. But if they can't get to you, you should know how to do it. The ability to make meaningful progress or learn comprehensively about something you have no personal interest or stake in. Knowing how to say no politely and assertively. It will save you countless hours and thousands of dollars. Sewing. I don't know why they don't teach this anymore. I have adults in my office who ask me to mend their clothes or sew a simple button. And also sending a letter. The fact that some people don't know how to send snail mail now amazes me. To know when to admit defeat. By all means give it your all, but there's no sense in wasting energy fighting a losing battle. Speaking of which, know when and where to pick your battles. Don't pursue something that's not worth it. Writing a professional email. It's insane how many emails I get from people applying for positions and they sound like they are texting their BFF. This may be obvious, but being able to lie straight to someone's face. Getting mugged? Lie. Getting kidnapped? Say you're gonna vomit. Or actually do that. Knowing how to speak up when something isn't right. Way too many people have a fear of interjecting or confrontation of any kind. Don't like the way your hair is cut? Tell them. Did I duck up and buy the wrong thing? Let me know. No one's a mind reader and your silence oftentimes just makes things worse. Fixing cooking mistakes. Being able to cook is something that I think is an obvious essential life skill. But we all duck up sometimes and being able to adapt to your duck ups is important. Example. I bought a pack of ground pork to make tacos. Browned and seasoned the pork and put together my first taco and it was beyond salty. Turns out I had bought Italian sausage instead of regular pork. I added a can of tomato sauce to the meat. Baked my tortillas until they were crispy. And made Italian nachos. They were delicious. Speaking well of others. Why? It's not only the right thing to do, but it creates a reality in which you are surrounded by the right people, which is good for your brain chemistry. If you generally speak ill of others, then you create a reality in which you are surrounded by the wrong people. This is bad for your brain chemistry and your relationships. In office life, how to play the game. By that I mean understanding how to present yourself, how to act in a social environment, how to dress, and how to use the politics in your favor. The world doesn't care that you hate corporations, and you're definitely not going to shake things up. What will happen is you'll be relegated to a dead-end job if you get one at all. Troubleshooting. Knowing how to describe problems and find solutions touches every part of life, not just technology. If you can troubleshoot, you can save yourself time, money, and heartache. The ability to see through temporary pain and suffering, whether physical or emotional. A stoic attitude can carry you through to some great places if you're patient. Never ask a superior what you should be doing. If you don't know what exactly you should be doing, think of some things and then ask, would you like me to do this or that? You come off as vastly more competent. Knowing the basic principles of critical thinking and logic. It's amazing how simply people can be manipulated if they can't detect logical fallacies or rhetorical ploys. The difference between giving an answer vs response, which is especially important in your work/professional life, but also a good social tip. An answer is usually one word or phrase. Example: would you like fries with that? Yes, totally appropriate in this context. Now, say your boss asks, would you like to attend XYZ professional development opportunity next week? Saying yes would suffice here. But it's better to give a more in-depth response. Yes, I've heard positive feedback from past attendees and am excited to improve XYZ skill. This easily takes your social interactions from satisfactory to impressive. One thing I've learned being married is that whatever perceives like you feel you've suffered during the course of a squabble, it's often less important than just downing weapons and realizing it matters less than your joint peace and happiness. My wife is good with this, and I'm improving. TLDR, don't work so hard to take things personally. Peace is more fun. Finding out how to put aside your nice, passive, placating personality when someone is actively taking advantage of you. Sales. You are constantly selling yourself in life. Going on a date? You're gonna be selling yourself. Job interview? You're gonna be selling yourself. Meeting a new friend? You're gonna be selling yourself. See the pattern? Common sense. Because someone just came to my house to pick up a dining room table I'm selling on Craigslist. In a Honda Civic. She thought it would fold up. Sorry. I'm not a member of the Jetson family. I don't even know them.